Hello, my friends. This is your happy stamper lady, Rachel Markin, helping the creative you shine through. Well, did you catch my front screen over the moon? Sean has changed all my little front screens, so I have one for each Monday. I love it. He's so helpful to me. He does such a great job. So we're in week 3 of March Puppy Madness. Can you believe it? I want to hear if you're loving the Poppy sets. And I love to see the creations that you are making with them as well. So I hope also that you've been catching, I'm going to show you the front screen of my So Now What videos. These videos are going to help take away the mystery of all the different products that you have with when you get your products. So if you start to create and you're uncertain, so please check those out in the So Now What videos. So I've already posted, this week I posted 2, well actually I'm going to post one. So I'll have posted 3 by the time you watch this video tomorrow. So please check those out. And thank you for all the people that have shared. I've been so blessed by that. So if you are watching me on Facebook, thank you for watching my video. I would love for you to subscribe to my video and hit the little notification button at the top so you always know when the next Monday video comes out. And that will let you know when the So Now What videos come out. Because they'll be random. They'll be like when I think, oh, I'm going to talk about a different supply, or I'm going to talk about something different. So the So Now What videos will be random. I don't have like a schedule for those. And if you are on YouTube, I would appreciate it if you went over to Facebook. I'm going to show you what my Facebook page looks like. Okay, this is my Facebook page. So Rachel Markin, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, happy stamper lady. And if you go here and you like my Facebook page and then you share the video, if you would tell me that you shared the video, then you get entered into a drawing, which is super exciting as well. Okay, so this week, the drawing will be for the Add a Dash of Glitter video. So if you shared that video, but if you had the opportunity, because I'm doing the video, I record on Sundays. So I'm only going to count the first 2 So Now What videos that you shared. So if you shared those, plus you shared the Add a Dash of Glitter, you actually got entered 3 times into my drawing, which is super exciting. And I want to tell you, I'm going to show you, we're going to go to split screen here. I want to tell you my cup is really full. You guys have been so generous to me and you're sharing my videos, and that really blesses my heart. I want to show you my cup too. So this says, together we can fly anywhere, and then I'm going to show you the back side with the Winnie the Pooh. That came from my daughter. Sorry, Naomi. She got that for me at Christmas time. Isn't that lovely? So do you see how full? Do you see how full the names are in there? Okay, let's like really squish them up. Get down in there and get the thing. Okay, who do we have? Let's put that aside. Nikki, you're my winner. Thank you so much. You've been so supportive, and you've shared, and you're encouraging, and you've given me some, like feedback on my videos and give me encouraging words, and I love that, and I treasure that. I treasure you, my friend, Nikki Smith. So I will, comment down in the comments below this video to make sure that you see that, and then of course there'll be a congratulations as well. Like you'll get your own little page of congratulations. So as a shout out, Nikki, who just won, you cannot see it in the videos, but you can if you were in my room. It smells like sheer leather. So Nikki sells Scentsy, and she is my Scentsy lady, and she keeps my house smelling lovely and my room smelling lovely. So if you have any needs for Scentsy supplies for the smells and the warmers and all the wonderful things that they do, she's your gal. So I will tag her in this video, and then you can check her out. Go check out her Facebook page as well. Okay, so here we are. Magic box for Over the Moon. Are you ready? So exciting. Okay, so if you've been following any of my videos, you know that for each month, this is March Puppy Madness month, I have a theme, which means that it kind of helps you on your supplies, okay? So you only need to buy, like I will use the same basic supplies each time, and then we add. So the Painted Poppies is one of our stamp sets, and then you have Flirty Flamingo, Coastal Cabana, Mossey Meadow, and Rich Razzleberry. Those were the 4 colors that I chose. You could choose other colors that match the DSP. If you haven't caught that, let me show you what I mean by that. So, look, there's March Poppy Madness because everybody's mad about it. If you go to the small, it's not small, it's a big catalog, but it is called a mini catalog because it's not the annual catalog, the January to June catalog. The paper's in here and it'll list the colors, but now they've gone over here and they've listed the colors as well. So all I did was just pick 4 colors from here, but if there was a color that appealed to you more, then you go pick that color because that's what works for you. Okay, so we have those we've used every single time. Here's our other stamp set, which is the Peaceful Moments, which has been super popular because it is so versatile. I mean, there's so many wonderful words in the Peaceful Moments stamp set. It was a great choice to pick. Then of course you have your DSP, which is Design Series paper, and it's cut #Love It Chop It style. So I would love for you to go check out my Love It Chop It video, which is going to be in the So Now What, wow, I could not get that out, So Now What series, to tell you how to chop up your DSP so that it's ready to make cards at all times. Okay, so these are the main ingredients for a great card. Okay, and then of course you have your card stock. So this month I chose Whisper Away and I chose Blackberry Bliss. Nobody's surprised that I chose Blackberry Bliss because I'm always going to tell you you need Blackberry Bliss. So those are the 2 cardstocks, and so then I'm reusing those each time, so you're not like buying a ton of different items, then you're ready to make cards. Okay, so if you go back to my #SimplyFantastic first video, Stamps and Paper, last week was Add a Dash of Glitter, so we continue to use Stamps and Paper, but we added our Winko Stella, which is now in our box. Okay, we added our Nobel Peacock gems, which are in our box, and we added dimensionals, and we added this lovely punch. It's called Label Me Lovely Punch. Isn't that fun? And we added this lovely punch to use. So those were the extras from last week's video. Now we're in Over the Moon, which means I get to use everything. If it's in the catalog, I get to use it. So the thing to remember, though, as we do these videos, and part of my purpose behind that is I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So last week in Add a Dash of Glitter, I showed you how you could still do stamps and paper and not use these extra supplies, not use the punch, not use the dimensionals, not use the gems, not use the Winko Stella, because I want you to feel like I got all these supplies, but I can only make that one card. Oh, no. You could make every card and not add the extras, and I want to show you that so that you can enjoy the basics that you bought and use them over and over again. That's my goal for you, okay? Now, you're going to see something new here. These are blender pens. These are lovely. If you're someone who likes to color, these have kind of become a favorite for me because I'm a color gal. I like to color. I also have the Momento ink because I think you should have a neutral every time with all your colors. So a good neutral would be Momento. We have Early Espresso, which is this gorgeous like deep chocolate brown. I think Night of Navy is a great neutral. I think Blackberry Bliss is a neutral. I know you're not surprised, but really it's dark and I think it goes with everything. I know, I'm a crazy. Okay, glue is a must, or you can have a tape runner. Those are your options for that. I do bring in the block because I stamp randomly. So block D kind of works for everything. And then I've got the bone folder, which I've talked about at different times. I'm going to do a whole So Now What video on all the different tools and how to use them. And then I have a pen so I can mark stuff down, and then this is one of the die cuts, so it like must have popped out of the popped out of the box where it didn't belong. Okay, magic box is empty for the moment, so we're going to put it down here so that we can see what we're going to be making. Okay, so let's put these over to the side so that you can be ready to be wowed by these cards. Okay, so the first card that I'm going to show you is a card that does not use any of the extras that I'm going to introduce today. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want you to see that you can have your supplies and that you can make cards and you don't have to have everything I have here on my table. Okay, this is for the avid crafter who wants absolutely everything. That'd be me. And if that is you and you're loving stamping, be a demonstrator, man. Join my Happy Stamper Lady team and get 20% off. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to do business. You could just get the 20% off. $99, tons of free stuff. And right now, I will remind you, I'm going to pull it out so you can see it. It is celebration time, people, and it is ending. The 31st of March is the end of celebration. So right now, as a demonstrator, you get even more free product. So for you specifically that no one else can access, okay, I'm going to show it here. Get it out of that glare. Okay. You get this special little mini cutter that I can't even have, and 48 sheets of 6x6 paper, which is all of the paper in the January-June catalog, like little snippets of paper. You get all of the different types of paper that are in there. $99 for your kit. You get to choose absolutely everything. No, nobody chooses it for you. You have no meetings. You have no one knocking at your door saying, hey, why aren't you selling? Hey, why aren't you doing stuff? None of that. None of that. And celebration, too, for all of you that are like, oh, I don't want to be a demonstrator, but I love being a customer. This is the time to order. You want to get those $50 orders in because this is when you're going to get your free product. For every 50, you get free product. I mean, that's a win-win situation. So I'm going to show you my website real quick so you know where to go. If you go on the website, all of the catalogs are accessible to you on that website that you can look at. You can order from the website, or, hi, just thought you'd like to see my face just a little bit closer. You can order directly from me, and I want to say thank you to those who have already contacted me about ordering because I get to personalize that for you, and that is a huge joy for me. So if you want to order and you want to put something together, please contact me, and I will help you to do that. Okay, so let's get back to our card of today, all right? So this card used our Stamps ink paper, and we did not use the extra embellishments. So we've got Life is Better with a Friend Like You, and then this is literally just a piece of design series paper. Is that not stunning? Like, hello, what a great card that is. Are you ready? Ta-da! Is that not fabulous? Okay, and this is simply cut from a piece of paper, from the DSP. I literally just cut that out. That's it. No extra anything. And added the design series paper, white paper, stamped to sentiment. Gorgeous. This was done in minutes. So if you caught my add a dash of glitter, good gravy, I cannot get it up today. If you caught my Add a Dash of Glitter video, I told you that the magic box actually worked because I stayed with my dad. He had full knee replacement surgery. And so when I stayed with him, I took stuff with me so that I could stamp, and I did this series and I did the Add a Dash of Glitter. So I actually had 2 series in one box. I kind of had all of my supplies and put it together, and it worked beautifully. I could just go to the table when Dad wanted to take a nap or just relax. Then I could go to the table and pull my stuff out. Perfect. It was perfect. So just as an encouragement to you, I don't want to share something with you that doesn't work. I test it first. It is Happy Stamper Lady tested, and it works wonderfully. Okay, are you ready? So now we're over the moon. So remember, I'm going to be using like all kinds of crazy products today to show you. So this is from the Poppy Element set. Okay, look at this. And it's got scallop. Can you see the white? I'll hold it so you can see. There you go. See the scalloped edge with that black? Oh my gosh, so beautiful. These are die cuts, okay? There will be a So Now What video about how to use your Big Shot and do die cuts. Have no fear. Are you kidding me? So we've got the punch popped up. We've got the Wink of Stella. We've got more of the Poppy elements, more die cuts with the paper, and we stamped on the paper. Oh my gosh, I'm loving these cards. Okay, I've got a few more to show you, and then we're going to get to making a card. So the elements, look at all these elements. And now here I colored in with my blender pens. I'm going to show you that today too. Oh, do you love it? I love these. I was so excited about these. Okay, this one I opened this way. So again, I talked about that. I kind of determined how I opened it. Same fold, same way to do it, but I determined it on how the paper was moved, the movement of the paper, I guess. So another thing with these, okay, because they're vastly different, I still did an assembly line. I still folded all of my Blackberry Bliss paper. I still cut all my white inside paper. Then I just started, like once that was all laid out, then I just started like picking paper, picking DSP. What did I want to use? And I started laying it out. So then I laid all my DSP out. Then I stamped my insides. If I did a punch, I had like a group of punches. So I probably did 10 at a time. I tend to do 10 cards at a time. I did my punches. And then I just started playing. Because you see that none of them are the same. I literally just started going through my elements of like, what do I have? How does that look? How did that go together? What do you think of that? So this is more of a play. So you're going to watch me kind of play on the video today, even a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Do you love it? I love these. I'm so happy with these. Okay, last one. Oh, I just love it. I just love it. All right, so let's talk about how to cut the paper real quick. There is a So Now What video coming out all about cardstock where I talk about how to cut paper, and it's the very, very basic. So it's always the basic cut for paper. This time I'm going to turn it this way, which means it's going to be cut at 4 1/4. And that is always going to give you 2 cards. So whenever you're cutting cardstock, if you cut it the way that I show you in the All About Cardstock video, you will always get 2 cards out of 1 sheet, okay? And then this Whisper White, I still turned it this way, and I cut it at 4 because this is going to be your insides, okay? This is going to be like how you do your insides. So you could get 2 out of that too. So then you're going to turn it this way, and you're going to cut it at 3, okay? And you're going to cut it at 3 again. And then you're going to cut it at 2 1/2. And now we've literally just made the card base for 2 cards. Oh, and I forgot, I want you to score. The beauty of having our piece. So on this, when you turn it sideways, so make sure your blade is down at the bottom, you're going to score this at 4 3/4. That's the perfect score mark, I think. This is, I don't even know what you'd call this. I kind of made this card up a long time ago. I don't know if I saw it from somebody. I've been doing this type of card for a long time. It reminds me of like an old-fashioned envelope is what I call it. Like an old-fashioned, yeah, like an old-fashioned envelope fold. So you're going to fold down on the score line, and this is where you use your bone folder just to burnish. Then I don't score this part. Like if you see, so you see that I folded it over and you've got like this like flap. I just literally fold it down over top of itself. There's no, like I don't score it. I make sure that it's even and I burnish it, and there you go. So you got your flap open. Ta-da. Okay, and so then you have the ability to do 2 of those cards, okay? So again, you do the flap. Well, you don't do that. You don't go wonky with your card. You do that, you fold it down, and you got your piece, okay? One of the first things that I do is I go ahead and stamp my white paper. Now, why wouldn't I put my paper already inside? Well, I'll tell you. And my ladies from my stamp club know this answer already. The reason I don't is because there's two sides to a paper. So if you have a happy accident and it's not exactly what you want it to be, this gives you an option to flip the paper over, and you're not desolate. You're not like, oh no, I put that in and I've ruined it. So in order to stamp, before we do the stamp, let's pick out cardstock. So let's see. Well, I want to do one that goes one direction like this. I want it to go that direction, and I want another one. Actually, I don't think I did any with this one. I think that's really pretty. I want that one, and then let's have one that goes, yeah, let's have one that goes sideways, like this one. I want one with, let's do that one sideways. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, you know that you've done this at 4, you know that you have scored at 4 3/4, so this I cut at 4 1/2. So that's just the cut that I make because I think it gives it enough room on the paper that it can be seen, and it still leaves like, like a frame, like an edge. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to use my glue. We've talked about the glue. We've talked about you could use glue or you can use tape runner. Either one works. It just depends on what you like. I like the glue because it lets me move a little bit. So like when I lay this down and I want to make sure I got my edge right, it lets me move it. Now I laid it down and I was happy with the edge, so that worked out perfectly. Then I'm going to take this piece, and I really want that big, I definitely want to see that big flower like around the edge. So I'm going to cut on this side and cut at 4 1/2. Okay, so my cutter's off to the side because I got all that stuff there. But I cut it at 4 1/2 because look at that. I like seeing that big piece right there. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then those little edgy pieces that you cut off, you know me, I don't waste those. Those actually will get used right on this card. So you saw how that moved just slightly like that, and that's okay. That's the beauty of the movement of a card. So on this one, I'm going to definitely use that on the inside. Actually, I'm going to use it on the inside here. I know that it'll fit there, so I'm going to go ahead and lay that down too, so I don't waste my DSP, because I love all of my DSP. I love how it looks. And I'm going to do the same thing inside here. So I've got my little edgy piece from cutting. I've got that little extra piece. So I'm going to lay it down inside. So now you're seeing a little bit of what I mean by assembly line. Now I'm only doing 2, but if you were doing your cards, I would do all my fronts, and then I would do all the little piece that I just cut inside. So that's what I would do, and that's what I did when I was at my dad's. So I would do like all my fronts, and then I would do all the little pieces inside. Then I would go back and I would decide like what do I want on the edges. Now this is where, so I'm going, you see me move my box, I want like all my those little pieces. Remember how I talked about those little edgy pieces? I definitely want the polka dot for this one. And that little extra edgy piece, if you do the hashtag love it, chop it like I showed you, it is the perfect fit for down at the bottom. Like, you don't have to cut it. It's ready. Like, ta-da, it's ready to go. Okay, so I know I want that because I love it. I love the polka dot with the look of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. And now you see I picked out my paper, which helps me to pick out my colors, if that makes sense. Then, I don't know. I know that goes with that, but I don't know if I love it. I think I want, something a little different. See, this is just where you have your pieces and you decide like what you love. I kind of like that. I don't love that blue though. Kind of would want that polka dot. So there you go. Now I got a piece of polka dot that I found there. And what will happen is once you start cutting your paper and start doing it, you'll have like all these little extra pieces. And that's where you'll like have leftovers and just be like, oh, look, that piece is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So you got a piece for there. And then you need a piece on the inside. Let's see if I've got another little I don't love that either. See, this is where you just are like, what works? Oh, I do like that for that though. Like that green, I really like for this one. So I would do that green at the bottom and that green at the top. I like that green in there. That's really pretty. And that's going to help me with my color choices. So I'm going to do the green at the bottom. And I'm going to do another green at the top. See how pretty that is? And that's just, I mean, that's really just preference. There's no, this is no right or wrong. This is like you start to create and you're like, oh, I love that, and that works, and oh, now I see what you're going for, and I see how that would work out. Okay, so already, see, that's, you got the start of the inside. Then you just need, on this one, we need one more. I don't think I want the same, necessarily, although you could do the same. I think I want one more of the green. I kind of like that green theme. I'm really liking that. So I think I'm going to do the same on that one. And then what I'll probably do is just cut a polka dot, because I feel like I want a polka dot again on the outside of that one. Okay, so there's that one ready to go. And look, already, wow, you've got like this really beautiful card going on. So this one, I'm not finding a small polka dot. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to cut my polka dot because I know that's what I want. I know that I want my little polka dot piece. So that's what I'll do. I'll just cut it in half so I can have my little polka dot. And it's not going to go to waste. Obviously, if I were doing an assembly line like we talked about, then this would be used in another set of cards because I'm doing like 10 cards at a time. So no waste there whatsoever. Okay, so one of the colors that I noticed that I would probably use in both of these is is the purple. Now, I did pick Rich Razzleberry for these cards, I know, oddly enough, but I do like the Rich Razzleberry. It's one of the colors that you can choose from. So I'm going to do the stamping now. We're going to come back and look. See, you start to see magic stuff that you did not see before. We're going to delve into that here in a minute. I'm going to put that on the block. And the only reason I'm going to do it on the block is because randomly I'm going to stamp. So if I were doing something precise, which you will watch me do something precise here, then I would go and do just that. Like I would be super precise, and yeah, I think I'm just going to stamp off like that. Like, see how cute that is? So I'm going to do that for sure in the purple, and I'm going to do it in the smaller one because they go together, because these are going to go in my card. So I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm not going to do the purple on the other one because it's more that like Flirty Flamingo color. I think it's going to work out really well for that one. But I will do, I think I'll do the Mossey Meadow for both. So we'll clean this off. And I think I'll do the Flirty Flamingo first because I'm going to use it on both, and then I'll revert to the green. So do you see it kind of how when I stamp, I try to do, as much of the stamping as I possibly can without having to like not necessarily clean it off, if that makes sense. So like, okay, if I'm going to use that, then I want to stamp and get those colors in and make that look fabulous to get it done. Now look how pretty that is with the purple and the Flirty Flamingo. And then we'll do Flirty Flamingo main on this one because that is definitely a main color. I'll do a little bit more there. I love it. Don't you love the splotchies? I was doing the flower, and I do love the flower too, but I don't know. That was kind of liking the splotchies inside. So there's that, and then we'll clean that up, and then we'll go to the Mossey Meadow. Okay, because we'll do Mossey Meadow just on this one, and then we're done with our splotchies. So we're done with that design, and these are just going to be like a little random. There you go. You see me, just this is random. And again, if this kind of style is bothersome to you, like I know some people really like precise, then this isn't the right style for you. That's okay. Don't do it. Find your own voice. Find something that you love. I talk about that all the time, finding your voice and what is going to work for you. Okay? All right. So we're going to be done with the splotchy on the inside. So the other thing that we need, when you had cut your white paper, you had... I got a little piece over here, so I will use those. You had an extra strip left. We need punches. We need our lovely label punch. Okay. And I've got a So Now What video talking about how to use your punches and get the most out of your punches. Get the best shape. That was not the best way. That wasn't a big enough piece of paper to do too, but that's all right. So I got my punches, okay. And then... I'm going to stick with the theme that I've been doing. So I think I'm going to put thank you in there because I'm still working on thank you cards for my dad. He did great with his surgery, actually. And he's recovering very well. But right now, obviously, we're in a time where it's a little bit scary. And he has an open wound still. He has his stitches out, which the doctor was really happy with him. But that also doesn't mean that he can like be like out and about, if that makes sense. So he still kind of needs to lay low for a little bit. So this is nice that people are checking on him and making sure he's doing okay. I'm just doing the black Momento ink. I will tell you, with all the things that are going on, please be safe. Make safe decisions for yourself. Make safe decisions for your family. Be aware of the world around you. And it also does affect business. So right now, I know for a fact right now that the Momento ink is not available because they are not having it shipped in right now. So it will at some point become available again, but right now it's not there. So that's just something to be aware of when you're ordering. So I will help you. Like if you decide you want to order something different, you want a different piece. Now I'm doing double. If you watched any of my videos, you've heard me talk about that. I just think I like that extra pop. Not something you have to do by any means, but I like it. It works for me. So we're going to clean that off, and then we're going to stamp a few flowers. I did like the flowers on the inside of that, and then we're going to color those flowers. So we'll put that away, and while we've got our little tags out here, we will stamp these adorable little flowers. So I think I'm going to go with, I think I'll probably actually, I might do purple on both of them. Big surprise. Big surprise. Okay. So, and this, when you're listening to me talk, this is literally how I create all the time. I'm like, how do I feel about that? What do I think about that space? And that's just how I create. Oh my gosh, did you see me looking for the thank you? And and it was staring at me right there. Oh, good gravy. Okay, so we've got that. Now, in the past, I have used another color and I've stamped in there, but this time I wanted to show you how you could use these gorgeous markers. So they come with an artist side and like a fine line tip. I like the artist side, and they come in dark and light, so you can kind of use both of them. So when I go to create, I will color just like I'm coloring a picture. Now these are easier to bleed, so you do have to, you know, you can color randomly, but you don't want it to like bleed outside of the line. And the other reason that I'm doing it in a tag is because they do bleed through on the back of the paper, which I will show you here in a minute. Now, here's the beauty. So you think, well, it's just a marker. Well, it's not, because it's alcohol ink. So when you're making lines, when you color, if you know what I'm talking about, like when you color with a regular marker and it makes lines, like if you stop in one spot and then you go back, it's still got these like weird lines. This does not do that. So then that was the light rich razzleberry, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of highlight spots with the dark, and I'm highlighting spots that Stampin' Up already highlighted for you. So that's kind of the beauty. Stampin' Up, when they create stamps, it kind of, they've done stuff that's like, oh well, that makes sense. I'll just like add a little bit to it, give it a little bit of extra here in my piece, come down here, do the bottom. So now you see it already standing out more, like you see it kind of standing out more. Then you can go back in with that light and you can kind of go over it and draw the lines out so it's not like so harsh of a line of what you did, but you still have that where you see it. Oh yeah, you see that beautifully in there, where you see that colored like that. Isn't that beautiful? So then I would do that on all of my pieces. Okay, like I would go and I would do that on all my pieces. I'm going to do the Flirty Flamingo on the top of this one just because I think it's fun. I think it gives it a fun, like, not to have them be the exact same color. So you don't have to just use the light and the dark of each one. You can go in and mix your colors. If you're not comfortable with that though, the light and the dark kind of gives you a guideline, I guess, like, okay, just use the light and the dark of those colors and you'll be fine. But if you didn't want to, which I'm going to show you here, so I am going to use the light one. I don't want to overwhelm that Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just kind of going in. You see like where I'm like tapping the spots, like where it's already filled in. And I'm going to go over that piece, and I'm going to come over, kind of just going and following the lines, to be honest, to kind of draw your eye to the different sections of the flower. And I like to do the tips darker up here like that. Okay, so then you see this pretty outline like that, but then I'm going to go back in with that Flirty Flamingo. And because it is alcohol-based ink, they literally all blend together, so you don't have any weird lines. It makes it just look so smooth and beautiful when it dries. Look how pretty that is. So there you go. So there's your blender pens. So that's definitely an over-the-moon purchase. That's something that you wouldn't maybe necessarily feel like you would want to purchase, that may feel like a bigger expense, I guess, of a purchase. So now let's go ahead and put in our white pieces, because I'm not going to stamp inside because I stamped the tag instead. So I can go ahead and put that inside. So the bigger piece goes up here. Now these are just pieces. This is something that I just made up. There's like, there's not a, like, I just like that works and I like that size. So if you follow my measurements, you can make these cards over and over again, do an assembly line, but I just made up how I wanted it to look. I like how the white piece fit in there. I like how the colored pieces fit in there. And then I thought having the tag was super nice. So this is one that really, this is your happy stamper lady just made this up. So, and I hope you like it. I'd love to hear comments about what you think about it. So again, there's no right or wrong, but there you go. So there's the base of your card. There's the base of your card. You could send that card and be super pleased with yourself, and all you've used is stamps, ink, and paper, okay? So I go back to that stamps, ink, and paper idea of what we've created. Now, I think that's just going to look smashing in there like that. But you know I'm not going to leave it like that, because you know I have to have my wink of Stella. You know that, because you know how I am about glitter. Everything needs a glitter. The touch of the glitter fairy. So I did post some pictures on my Facebook page of all of my Add a Dash of Glitter last week, and I hope that when I looked at the pictures, I felt like you could see the glitter. It's really tough to see. Oh no, there it is. Do you see the shine? It's tough to see, like when I'm doing it here. I don't feel like you get the wow factor, but it really is a wow factor. So I hope that that's something that you give it a try, that you give the a wink of Stella a try, because I love it. Now you could just glue that down. I of course am going to do the dimensionals just because I like it. It's because I like the look of it. I like how it pops itself up on there. Super happy. And I think I'm going to go over here to the side, not right in the middle. And now this is where you play. So I've got all of this. I'm not going to finish you'll see this one. I'll show you all of the cards I made, but I'm not going to show you how I recreated another one because you just watched me. So now this is where you play. So I've got pieces in here. The poppy elements. Yep. And that is literally all I did with my cards. I was like, oh, I like that. Oh, that works. Oh, that's beautiful. And so I just played around with it and added the elements that made me happy. There are lots and lots of them to choose from, obviously. And I think these are just gorgeous. I love these pieces. Then these are die cuts. So if you have a Big Shot machine, I am going to do a So Now What video on die cuts. You will be able to see exactly how I use the machine, and there will be no questions asked. Oh, good gravy. That is quite gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to do that. See, and that's how I did. I literally was like, oh, yes, I love that. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's do that. And so this is tricky. This little guy is tricky, but the glue is beautiful because you barely need any. And I kind of just follow the outline. If you watch me, I'm following like the outline of this little guy. I obviously got a lot of glue in the middle, and then the outline. And then you go back, and this die cut literally lays over top of the bottom cut. And this is all from the machine. So I will get the So Now What video out for this pretty quickly with the die cut machine so that you can check it out so you can see it. I think I'm gonna glue that down. I don't think I'm gonna do the die cut or the dimensionals because I already did the dimensionals at the bottom. So I think I'm gonna do that and just lay it down on the card and let it set. And then I've got inside pieces. So you see all of this when I'm creating. I'm a little bit of a mad scientist. So then I think that, oh, and that's how I create. I'm like, boom, and I'm happy with that. And that's it. You're just watching the method to my madness right now. So I will add that because I think that's gorgeous. And of course, I think gem is a good idea because jewels are always a good idea. Right? Okay. Oh, are you kidding me? There you go. There you go. Okay, and the front is the exact same way, although this is really a stunning piece. So I think I'm going to do this just because I'm loving that, and I think that that black, like, accents it, like gives it a little bit of an accent. So I think for sure I'm going to do the black on there. So I just ran a line and I will lay that down so it's even. Just like that. Okay. So you have that to open. Already I love that. But then I kind of feel like I don't want to do too much more. I just think this is really, really pretty. I think you could almost get away with like a leaf die cut coming out of there. Like, look how pretty that leaf is. I like that leaf. And then, see, this is me. This is where I'm just like flipping through. What do I like? What do I like? I might, oh, I almost felt like I wanted, those on there. Gosh, I just think that's so pretty. So I almost feel like you could have the leaf coming out the top. Yep, that's it. And your card is done. So that's what you're watching. You're just watching me, like, this is the method to my madness. This is how I create. Boom, I like that. Yes, my card is complete. And this is over the moon. So remember, okay, over the moon means I'm using all kinds of products. But I showed you in the very beginning of this video that you don't have to use every one of those products, that you can indeed do something different and it doesn't have to be all those products. Is that not beautiful though? Look at that with the black. I mean, that is just stunning. And you have this gorgeous card that you'd be super proud to send, right? Oh, I love it. I absolutely adore that. I don't think it needs anything else. I'm not going to do anything else. Okay, so now you see this is the creative genius at work where I've made like a massive mess. This is probably the biggest mess I've had on my desk since we've done it. Let's go to front screen. Okay, so we did over the moon today, which means that we used everything but the kitchen sink. And I will have some So Now What videos. So if you have questions on some of the pieces that I use, I will go and break that down. That's what the So Now What videos are for. Don't forget to like and share on Facebook and tell me that you shared. Comment on YouTube as well. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I don't think so. Nikki's the winner this week, so we're going to congratulate Nikki and tell her thank you for that. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm going to bid you adieu and go and make the world a better place.